ghouls and ghosts, and welcome to the Netflix Knowhow, the review show here to help you stop browsing and start watching. As you can see, Derek is a bit, well, let's just say he is currently caught up in the web of life. But do not fret. I can assure you that your souls are in good hands with me. Oh, God. Oh, I can't breathe in that thing.
It's Halloween, folks. Best holiday of the year, my favorite holiday. And so, I figured what better way to celebrate the occasion than by giving you my review of Stranger Things, Season 1. I know, Season 2 just came out, and I promise that I'm going to get to that. But in the meantime, I gotta start somewhere, right? So for those of you who just woke up from a year-long coma, Stranger Things is a pretty big deal right about now. The first season is about a young boy named Will who goes missing under some pretty shady circumstances. While searching for him, his three best friends, Lucas, Mike, and Dustin, stumble upon a mysterious young girl named Eleven, who has just escaped from a secret government facility and has some very special powers. Unfortunately, she's not the only thing that's escaped, and now there's this supernatural monster from another dimension running around town and kidnapping people. It becomes a race against the clock to save Will's life before the monster can get to him and the government can swoop in and cover the whole thing up. Stranger Things is basically a love letter to the sci-fi and fantasy genres of the 80s, the wonderful geek culture of Dungeons & Dragons, and the work of the early Steven Spielberg. If you like any of those things, you're probably going to like this. And if you don't like any of those things, well, you're kind of lame, but you're still probably going to like this. Stranger Things is great. Really, really great. The characters are great, the story is great, the performances are amazing, and the writing and directing are absolutely spot on. Everything about this show is fantastic. It's like a wet dream for nerds, and the best part about it is that everything is done so well on every level that you don't even need to be a nerd to get enjoyment out of this. The characters are all so complex and interesting, and the performances are honestly some of the best that I've seen on a series television show since, I don't know, probably Mad Men. Apparently, Winona Ryder was nominated for several awards for her role as Will's mother Joyce, and yeah, I can definitely see why that's the case. David Harbour as the police town chief is, well, let me put it this way. I am okay with this man taking over the role of Hellboy. Never thought I would say that. Even the kids are really good, and let me tell you, do you know how hard it is to find even a single child actor that is good enough to put in a strong performance, much less an entire cast of them? Give that casting director a cookie. Millie Bobby Brown, Finn Wolfhard, you guys are going to go on to do great things. And hopefully the rest of the cast will. I really hope that they do. The main reason that these performances are so good is that the characters are all so well developed and rich and full. Every character, even the ones that fall into a certain trope for this kind of genre, surprised me with just how real and human they were. The kids are actually really smart, and I appreciated that their dialogue is actually very mature and intelligent. It was so refreshing to see a show that treats the kids like complex, intelligent human beings rather than naive 2-year-olds. Plus, I mean, they explained everything that was going on in the world around them through Dungeons & Dragons lingo, and that's pretty sweet in my opinion. There's also a character named Steve who, on first impression, is just this stereotypical greaser dirtbag, but they actually took the time to develop him and give him some real depth. Yeah, he's still a dirtbag and he does some pretty scumball things along the way, but he's actually surprisingly empathetic and he takes proactive action to correct the wrongdoings that he commits. Every single character in the show is like that. They all have something inside of them, something beneath the surface that makes them real, that makes them human, that gives us something to hold on to when we're watching them, and it makes us care about them when we're seeing them go through all of these adventures. It's really a clear demonstration of the amount of passion that was put into every single detail in this show. Nothing about it is predictable either. Yes, it does draw a lot of influence and a lot of reference from all of the material that I mentioned before, but Just when you think that you have everything figured out and you know exactly where it's going, it takes a sharp left turn down that dirt path that's completely overgrown and you didn't even see before. It's almost like they rely on the cliches and the stereotypes of the genre to lull us into a false sense of security before throwing us for a loop. Will's mother, Joyce, actually falls into that stereotype of the sane person that everyone thinks is crazy because of all their conspiracy theories that actually end up being true in the end. But it actually works really well here. Most of the time when this happens, it's very obvious that the crazy person is right and everyone else around them is just being really ignorant and stupid. But in this particular case, she genuinely appears crazy. She's hanging up Christmas lights all over her house, she's talking to the lights because apparently that's how her son communicates, she's writing letters all over her walls, and then she's taking sledgehammers and like knocking holes in her wall because she's trying to get to her son that she thinks is there. It really seems like she's going insane, and it's really heartbreaking. And so when the moment comes where all of her craziness is proven to be right, it is such a satisfying emotional release, not just for the character, but for us watching. Oh, and before I forget, don't worry, the show is scary. Happy nightmares, everyone. What, did you think I forget that it was Halloween today? Please. I do have a few complaints about the show. One, there were approximately 3 moments in the show where the kids, I guess, had a brain fart and completely forgot how to act for all of 5 seconds. 2, there was a chase scene involving a van where the van turned into a crappy CGI cartoon for about 2 seconds. So, yeah, that wasn't too good. 3, no wait, I guess that's it. Did I mention this is a good show? Because it's a really good show. Stranger Things Season 1 is an absolute masterpiece of the modern television era, and it's bursting at the seams with mystery, tension, geeky style, and an absolute love for the material that inspired it. If you haven't seen it already, who am I kidding? Of course you've seen it. Everyone's seen it. You've probably already binge watched Season 2 by this point. Thumbs up for Stranger Things Season 1. Cannot wait to go watch Season 2. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. I hope that you guys enjoyed my special little Halloween episode. I know that I promised you a month full of spooky Halloween goodness with all of the horror shenanigans going on, and clearly that did not happen. So I just want to apologize. I do feel really bad about that, and I'm disappointed that I was not able to bring that to you. However, I do have something special planned for the end of the year, which hopefully will make up for it. You'll just have to tune in and find out what it's gonna be. You guys can always head over to Facebook and Twitter and follow me on there for more updates. And as always, if you wanna know your flicks, you know where to click. Happy haunting tonight, ghouls and ghosts. Ooh. See you next time.